Guy Gardner turned his personal trauma into motivation that led him to protect innocents throughout the galaxy. The second issue featured in the new classic review series is from the pages of my favorite DC Rebirth series, and in my opinion, the best writer in the industry. Rebirth featured an enormous roster of amazing comic books, but for my money, none were as consistently great as Robert Venditti's Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps. The entire 50-issue run is fantastic and tells a cohesive, long-form story. Few in the industry match Venditti's ability to plant seeds and pay off long-standing questions with perfection. Hal Jordan number 16 stands out as great for one simple reason. Venditti transformed a character I disliked greatly, Guy Gardner, into a sympathetic hero worth rooting for in 24 short pages. Prior to this issue, Guy Gardner's gruff attitude, braggadocious nature, and tendency to out-macho every other character in the universe was grating to say the least. Venditti gives Gardner history and context that elevates his generic tough guy persona. Venditti was blessed with two outstanding primary artists on his bi-monthly Hal Jordan series. Ethan Van Sciver is the greatest Green Lantern artist of all times. People often overlook what a fantastic Green Lantern artist counterpart Rafael Sandoval is in his own right. Hell, even fill-in artists V. Ken Marion and Patch Zurcher, who I despise greatly, are better than most in the industry. Rebirth-era Superman and Batman are elevated greatly by amazing art teams, but neither touch Van Sciver and Sandoval's collective artistic brilliance. Rafa Sandoval illustrates issue 16, and his work is exquisite. His graphics don't feature the gnarly details and facial expressions of EVS, but he excels greatly at creating dynamic action, and this issue, while being a very contained story, is full of action, as in it's almost entirely a one-on-one fight between Guy Gardner and his Sinestro Corps counterpart, Arkillo. This is easily the bloodiest book in Venditti's entire run, but the gore is necessary to fully articulate who Guy Gardner is and why his will is so powerful. Prior to this issue, the Lanterns and Sinestro Corps worked together following the defeat of Thal Sinestro at the hands of Hal Jordan. Gardner and Arkillo made for an effective partnership. Cut from the same cloth, they were an unstoppable team. When relations between the Lanterns and Sinestro Corps fell apart, it was time for the two to square off and finally prove who the toughest of the tough is. When the muscle from both sides dropped their rings to settle things the old-fashioned way, readers knew something special was brewing. But nothing prepares you for what happens next. What on the surface is one giant fight scene is actually a very meaningful character-driven narrative. While the two battle tooth and nail, Venditti flashes back to Gardner's youth. Readers learn the Lantern's resident alpha male grew up in a violent atmosphere with an alcoholic father. As the battle between an indomitable will and an immovable object rages on, Venditti digs deeper into Guy Gardner's history and motivations. The physical pain Arkillo dishes out is nothing compared to the emotional torment he endured as a young man. These are very deep cuts from Robert Venditti into Guy Gardner's character and past. Eventually it appears Guy Gardner is on the verge of death from the beating Arkillo feeds him, but Gardner refuses to lie down. He continues on against a clearly superior adversary. Guy Gardner simply doesn't have it in him to quit. Soranik, the leader of the Sinestro Corps, attempts to intervene on Guy's behalf. John Stewart holds her off, knowing Gardner needs to end the confrontation on his own terms. All the human lanterns are very unique, but have one thing in common: unconquerable will. In Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps 16, readers learn Guy Gardner's will is forged from surviving the trauma he experienced as a child. You could never look at Guy Gardner the same. He's still a gruff, braggadocious, over-the-top alpha male, but he's also the Lantern whose will came into being after years of physical and emotional abuse at the hands of a father who should have protected him. Guy Gardner turned his personal trauma into motivation that led him to protect innocents throughout the galaxy. Robert Venditti's best work is on Valiant Comics' X-O Manowar. The first 14-issue story, collected in X-O Manowar Deluxe Edition Volume 1, is the finest modern retelling of Exodus in any medium outside the Bible. I'm fairly certain his transcendent work on the series landed him his DC exclusive gig and 50-issue run with Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps. There are a total of 7 trades encompassing his Hal Jordan run. For my money, volumes 1, 6, and 7 are the cream of the crop. If you're new to the Lantern Corps and unsure if the series is for you, I suggest reading Hal Jordan in the Green Lantern Corps number 13. It doesn't really fit well in the overall story it's included in, but it's the perfect one-shot introduction to Robert Venditti's fantastic run on this series, in my opinion. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. I would appreciate it very much. It helps us attract more views for the channel. Subscribe for future commentary, comic book news, and reviews. And don't forget to ring the bell for notifications. If you want to talk comics, movies, and much, much more, you can follow me on Twitter at Wes_from_TC. With that, Salamat Po, and I'm out.